Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أم خلقوا من غير شيء أم هم الخالقون أم خلقوا السماوات والأرض بل لا يوقنون. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. Alhamdulillah. Today I wanted to talk about who created the universe. A lot of my friends, colleagues, people who know me very well have requested for me to do this talk. So I'm just going to make it very short, sweet and to the point. Basically what we're discussing today is how the universe came about. There is only three different options that we can explore when it comes to the cosmos and the creation of the universe. And that was the first surah that I read. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, خُلِقُوا مِنْ غَيْرِ شَيْءٍ هُمُ الْخَالِقُونَ. So basically Allah says, were they created from nothing, or were they themselves the creators? And the next one was خَلَقُوا السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ بَلْ لَا يُوقِنُونَ. Or did they create the heavens and the earth? Yeah, but they don't know. Okay? So basically that is the three arguments that there are for when it comes to the cosmos and creation as in general. Okay, so we either came out of nothing, which is what we hear a lot from people who are atheists and believe in the evolution theory. We created ourselves. Sometimes we hear that from the evolutionists and the atheists. And then the third and final option is the cosmos was created. The earth, the sun, the moon was all created by an intelligent designer who is infinite, basically. Is self-sufficient. So we're going to look at those three now. I'm just going to break it down for you. Okay, before we go into this though, I need to agree with you guys about common sense. So if you can't agree on common sense or past this point, then it's probably best you turn off the video right now, because it's irrelevant and it's not going to make any sense to you. So what do I mean by common sense? Okay, if I told you to get a bed of nails, and on the bed of nails put a ladder on top of it, and then climb that ladder, go to the top and jump straight off onto the bed of nails, would you do it? I think most of us with common sense and reasoning would say we would never do that, because we know if we go to the top of the ladder and jump, you're going to fall into a bed of nails, which is going to basically rip up in your feet, blood, pain, torture, you name it, will happen as soon as you jump off that ladder. So I think a lot of people will realise that your common sense and reasoning tells you not to do that. Another way that we can think about reasoning is if somebody knocked at your door at 4 o'clock in the morning, wearing a clown suit, and said, "Hey, I've come to read the gas meter. I've come to read the gas meter and check your piping." Would you let them in, thinking that he's a gas man? I think your common sense and reasoning tells you that you're not the gas man. How would you know that the guy is not the gas man? Okay, he's not wearing a uniform. He hasn't got the card from the gas company. We don't recognise him to be a part of British Gas, for example. So how have we done that? How have we come to that conclusion? We've come to that conclusion through our common sense and reasoning tells us, you don't look like the gas man, and I'm not letting you in. That would be the best decision, is to not let him in. Obviously there probably is people out there that would let him in, but that wouldn't be the right decision, I personally think. Because if, for example, if someone's knocking at your door at 4 o'clock in the morning wanting to get in, and he's not the gas man, and you let him in, he could be anybody. He could be a killer. He could be a lunatic that's trying to rob your house, hurt your family. So if you were to make a decision based on common sense to not let him in, you could save your health, you could save your wealth, you could save your family, you could save a lot of things just based on common sense. So I hope we all understood that. Because we're going to use common sense and reasoning to come to a conclusion about the cosmos, how it all came about. So if you're prepared to use common sense and you understand common sense and you use it in every single day life, then you want to carry on with this video. If you don't use common sense in your everyday life, then you either want to turn the video off or stay tuned and learn how to use common sense. Okay, so the example, let's just take it from the beginning. We came from nothing. It all was just a big bang, and then from that big bang, it was an explosion, and from that explosion, all of us just came together. Okay, so basically we need to look at that theory and basically realise it's just a theory. To be honest, it's actually quite ridiculous, the very idea of it. Why? Okay, let's just take an example of a mobile phone. I know my phone's a little bit broken, but a mobile phone, yeah? An iPhone 4. So, the main ingredients for the phone, i.e. the sand, the sand, which is the sand and the oil, which comprises a lot of the minerals that are needed to make the phone, can be found in the Middle East, yeah? So somewhere like Dubai or Saudi Arabia, where we go a lot. So an atheist theory would be like this, the equivalent even. Go to the Middle East, sit down in a desert, and all the minerals that are needed for the phone are available in the desert. You even have heat, so you can warm up the minerals. You even have wind, so all of it can move together and stuff like that. So the atheist is saying, go to the Middle East, sit in the desert, and in the space of 20 to 50 to 100 years, or whatever years they want to put on it, you will have a fully functioning mobile phone that has come out of the desert. Would anybody believe that? I don't think you would, because that just doesn't happen. If I said to you my phone was made randomly, no designer, no creator, nothing from the desert, you would say, you're mad, you're insane. It just doesn't happen. Similarly with a car, yeah. If I was to say to you that the car came out of nowhere, you never had any manufacturers, you never had any designers, you never had anybody to put it together, nothing. It just randomly appeared, yeah. Would you believe me? You wouldn't believe me. You would say you're crazy. Nobody would believe you. Nobody would say, yeah, the car came out of nowhere. Everybody knows the car had a creator. It was made by someone, so, a few people. So that's the same for the car. You wouldn't believe that the car came out of nowhere. Now, if you take a look at something a little bit more designed, at the moment, I'm working at Warwick University. This is based in the UK. I think it's like the 6th best university in the whole of the country. A lot of think tankers, a lot of academics that work there and study there. So yeah, it's a good place to have a conversation. Now, if I was to turn around to anybody at Warwick University and say, the Warwick Uni, with all of its campuses, with all of its classrooms, with all of its computers, with all of its designs around the whole university, its elevators, etc., etc., it just came out of nowhere. No builders were needed, no architects were needed, no computer technicians were needed, no carpenters were needed. You know what? It just came out of nothing, just like that. Out of nowhere. What would you say? You would say, you're living in cuckoo land, mate. And that is exactly what land the atheist is living in. He's living in cuckoo land. So, if a real atheist is watching this, not someone who doesn't know, who's an agnostic, who's not sure there's a God, he's different. If someone's an atheist, if he actually believes there is no God, there's no creator to create this universe, then all I would say to the atheist is, can you please put your theories into anything else? You wouldn't even dream of saying it because it sounds absolutely ridiculous. And you know it. So, yeah. So there was no way I could have an argument with, or even talk to someone at Warwick Uni about this. The Warwick Uni came out of nowhere. They'd just laugh you out of the building. Okay? So that's the first thing covered. Can we come from nothing? Absolutely not. Because we don't see anything coming from nothing. Nothing makes nothing. Okay? So option 2. Which is basically, the universe created itself. So again, we're going to go back to our 3 examples. First one being your mobile phone, which is, can the mobile phone make itself? Yeah? Of course not. Okay, you might have machinery and stuff to help put the stuff together, but the idea of the phone, the systems within the phone, the apps, everything, even the signal, is all designed by somebody. So if I was to turn around and say, oh, I just randomly made itself, and then it randomly put the apps onto it, and then it randomly had a signal, and then randomly you could make a phone call on it. It just made itself. The phone made itself exactly how you wanted it, without any designer. And if everybody and anybody, doesn't matter what part of the world you come from, would agree, no way, mate. That just does not happen. Okay? So that's with your mobile phone. What about your car? We know that for sure, that there's no way that a car can come together by itself. Car cannot just produce itself. So, and again, the final example would be Warwick Uni, or something like that. Some building that's got a lot of different departments and different systems that they use for security and for IT and stuff. Can Warwick Uni create itself? No. There you go. Can anything at the uni create itself? No, I don't think we could see that to be real. Yeah, and if you put that in a human level, it's like saying your mother or our mother, she gave birth to herself. So how can that be? Because she needs to be in creation and outside of existence and in existence at the same time. So how can that be? Never seen it before. So it's not a legitimate way of looking at this. It's not using our common sense. Okay, so that's the second option. And the third and final option is it had a creator, designer, and intelligent design behind it. Okay, let's take a look at the phone. The phone, made perfectly, like I said, with all the different apps, the signal that you need from the your 3G or your Vodafone, whoever it might be, internet, everything, camera, etc., designed perfectly for the phone. Even the way that the phone is in terms of looks, etc., designed. We know that's designed. We know somebody created it. Not only do we know somebody created it, when you order the phone, it comes with an instruction manual. Why does it come with an instruction manual? To tell you what to do with the phone, i.e. how to use it, how to navigate around it, how to install certain applications, how to delete certain things. It's all written down by who? By the guy who created the phone, in order to help you to use the phone. Yeah. It also has got stuff in there what not to do. For example, don't drop your phone in water, or don't smash it across the wall because it will break and you won't have a phone left. There's instructions in that book to tell you what to do with your phone and what not to do with the phone. And who did it, who wrote it even, it was the guy who made that phone. So we know there's a creator to the phone. Same with the car again. The car has got wheels, it's got an exterior, it's got seats, it's got like a steering wheel, etc., and what petrol it takes. The manufacturer, say Mercedes, would have definitely given you a buyer's guide or like a booklet to do with your car. What petrol it takes, how fast can it go, what's the warranty on it, the wheels, what to do and what not to do with that car is important. For example, if the car's a petrol and you didn't have the instruction manual to tell you it's a petrol and you put diesel in it, it would completely destroy the car. You would ruin it. So the instruction manual is very, very important. The instruction manual is everything, if you put it that way. And then the final example, as I was using before, the example of the university, the Warwick University, because I know a lot of people from Warwick University are going to be watching this. So the Warwick University, do we or do we not have a map there? Do we or do we not have something to tell us how to created it? Not only do we know somebody created it, when you order the phone, it comes with an instruction manual. Why does it come with an instruction manual? To tell you what to do with the phone, i.e. how to use it, how to navigate around it, how to install certain applications, how to delete certain things. It's all written down by who? By the guy who created the phone, in order to help you to use the phone. Yeah. It also has got stuff in there what not to do. For example, don't drop your phone in water, or don't smash it across the wall because it will break and you won't have a phone left. There's instructions in that book to tell you what to do with your phone and what not to do with the phone. And who did it, who wrote it even, it was the guy who made that phone. So we know there's a creator to the phone. Same with the car. Again, the car has got wheels, it's got an exterior, it's got seats, it's got like a steering wheel, etc., etc. And what petrol it takes. The manufacturer, say Mercedes, would have definitely given you a buyer's guide or like a booklet to do with your car. You know, what petrol it takes, how fast can it go, you know, what's the warranty on it, you know, the wheels, you know, what to do and what not to do with that car is important. For example, if the car's a petrol and you didn't have the instruction manual to tell you it's a petrol and you put diesel in it, it would completely destroy the car. You would ruin it. So the instruction manual is very, very important. The instruction manual is everything, if you put it that way. And then the final example, as I was using before, the example of the university, the Warwick University, because I know a lot of people from Warwick University are going to be watching this. So, the Warwick University, do we or do we not have a map there? Do we or do we not have something to tell us how to get around the university? We do. They give us that as soon as we start working there or start studying there. Why do we have that for? So that we know what to do or where to go, or at least attempt to know where to go. Who is it done by? Who the people who made the university? So we know for sure somebody made the university, is controlling the university, is saying its rules and laws. You wouldn't just think it's coming out of nowhere. Nobody would think that. Again, that thought alone, it just basically leads to insanity. Either insanity or the person does not know what common sense means, because he hasn't obviously applied common sense in his thinking or her thinking. Okay, so we can conclude that the phone, the car, and the university had a creator. Now, when you look at it on a bigger level, you have the earth, you have the sun, you have the moon, you have the stars, you have the skies, you have you have seas, you have the mountains, you have so much creation wherever we travel to. It doesn't matter what part of the world you go to, you see something new, yeah? So, are you telling me that all came out of nowhere and by chance? It just randomly happened, like they say, the scientists say? That just doesn't happen, you know. If it came out of nowhere, for example, we have an ozone layer around the earth, that would have been affected. So the sun's rays would have affected the earth directly. Yeah, but we don't see that. We see the ozone layer perfect, and the sun's rays keep out, protecting us. Perfect. The creation was perfect. Okay. Then the sun has an axis. It goes around 24 hours a day. Now, if this was by chance, like some of the atheists say, or just randomly happened, then why can't it randomly be half of the world would be in daylight and the other half would be in darkness? Why wouldn't it be like that? Because half the world would, you know, there'd be too much sun on it, hence it wouldn't be inhabitable, it wouldn't exist. And the other side would be too much darkness, again, uninhabitable, wouldn't be able to exist. The universe would not be able to exist on that idea. It just came from nothing. Okay? Similarly, if you use the argument, it made itself, again, it doesn't make sense. What we know for sure, talking about the cosmos, the axis, perfect, 24 hours, and it goes round. Allah gives an example of that in the Quran. He says, إِنَّ فِي خَلْقِ السَّمَوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَاخْتِلَافِ اللَّيْلِ وَالنَّهَارِ. So basically, an example within the earth is the difference between night and day. You know, can you not see the difference between night and day? As a clear example that there's a sustainer, creator, designer. Somebody's ordered this universe to come into existence. It hasn't just come out of existence for no reason. And we ain't here for no reason. Okay? We can see that because we can see it being sustained 24 hours a day. Everywhere. In every country. Alright, okay, some more examples of how unique the creation is. The sun is so far away from the world that if it was any closer, slightly, the universe would have burnt, and hence it wouldn't have existed, or we wouldn't have existed on it. If it was too far away, it would have froze to death. Again, not inhabitable for people to live on. If the sun moved slightly, so if it was by mistake, like they say, it could have moved more than slightly. but it's not. It's remaining where it is. So how is it remaining where it is? It's not by chance. There is a creator, designer, an intelligent sustainer behind it. Okay, that's one. Even if the moon and the sun and the earth were different sizes, for example, they weren't the sizes they were, it would have massive impact on the day. How many hours you'd have on a day? You'd have like 4 hours of a day, opposed to 24 hours, for example. The gravity, the way that the gravity is right now is absolutely just perfect. If it was any other way, we'd have serious issues on the earth. You've got gravity, you've got your sun and your moon. And then if you look at us as human beings, are we really that much of a mistake? Like, every single one of us has got a different fingerprint. If it was random, by mistake, an accident, then we would have had similar fingerprints. But we don't. We find that even the police and all government agencies use fingerprints. Why do they DNA? Why do they use that for? Because it's unique. So another thing would be about the human creation is your iris. Every single person has got a different iris. If it was by mistake, then why don't we have similar irises? It's not by mistake. Everybody knows it's not by mistake. It's been ordered, it's been designed, and there is a creator behind it all. We can see it. So basically there's a Quranic verse that I want to finish off with. And the Quranic verse reads, أَوَلَمْ يَرَ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا أَنَّ السَّمَوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ كَانَتَا رَتْقًا فَفَتَقْنَاهُمَا وَجَعَلْنَا مِنَ الْمَاءِ كُلِّ شَيْءٍ حَيٍّ أَفَلَا يُؤْمِنُونَ. So basically Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, chapter 21, verse 30, verily the heavens and the earth were one entity. So it was one creation, and then he separated the two into two different parts, and then this is the critical bit. He made every living thing from water. So they asked me, Haroon, how is that relevant to what we're talking about? Okay, well, a lot of the cosmologists who basically study the earth and the sun and the moon and everything else, most of them agree that the universe didn't come out of nowhere. Yeah, it had a beginning. Yeah, and every cause has an effect. So if it had in the beginning, they don't always agree as a creator, but a lot of them agree there is a creator behind it all. Okay, so Islam, the Quran, that verse I just gave you, verse 21, verse 30, is in complete harmony, and we accept the point of view of the Big Bang. So don't let anybody tell you otherwise. The Muslims have to believe in the Big Bang because it's written in the Quran. Now the only difference is the Big Bang that the atheist is talking about is that it's a Big Bang and it happened randomly. Everything happened randomly. This is where we disagree. We say, hold on, there was a Big Bang, but it wasn't an explosion like you say, because if it was an explosion it would have been chaos. It was a bang done deliberately by the Creator, who is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and then made this universe. That makes more rational sense because the universe is working in harmony. There's laws, there's systems, there's patterns, we can see it. It's not an explosion. If there was an explosion, as we see on the news and etc. in different parts of the world, an explosion leads to chaos. It doesn't lead to order. What we see in the universe, in the world that we live in, is order. So if it's order, somebody's ordered it. Or some things ordered it. So who ordered it? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordered it, and He is the creator of it, He is the sustainer of it, He is self-sufficient, He is infinite. And the universe is finite, it's needy, and it's needy of the Creator. Okay? And the last bit, for the scientists, if you're listening, and even for the non-scientists who are interested in life on different planets, etc., and even ourselves, the first thing that the scientists look for when they're looking for new creation on different planets or looking for different living creatures is water. Why do they look for water? It's because they know every living thing is made from water. So my question to you is there, scientists use that now, but the Quran, Al-Quran, Kitab Allah, the Book of Allah, was revealed 1400 years ago, and it knew that verse. It knew it. How did it know it? This is the $1 million question, because There was no way for the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in Mecca during the time to know that. It's impossible. It's just impossible. So how did he know it? Or rather, how was it in the Quran? It's very simple. It's because the Quran is the word of God. Just like your phone has an instruction manual to tell you what to do with it, just like your car has something written down, an instruction manual to tell you what to do with it, just like the uni has a A to Z and where to go to help you out, just like this perfect creator that created the universe, the sun, the earth, the moon, us, the animals, the mountains, everything he created, surely he has to have an instruction manual to tell us what to do, to tell us how to live our life. There's loads of people who claim that we have the instruction manual. For example, the Christians will say we have it, the Bible. The Jews will say we have it with the Torah. The Hindus with the Gita. Atheists, they could claim science. And the list goes on and on and on and on, really. But as human beings, what we're supposed to do, like I told you at the beginning of the video, is use your common sense. Yeah? So if you look at all these scriptures, ideas, none of them have an answer when it comes to creation. Not really. And who the creator is. Nothing at all. Hence why they're still vying with different ideas about what's right or wrong. Whereas in the Quran is very clear and very precise and to the point. So what I would suggest for you is to definitely read the Quran. Because it is from the creator. The creator of what? The creator of the heavens and the earth, the universe that we live in. The creator of us. Okay? And I've just proven that there's no way from looking at it at a point of view of common sense, something came from nothing. There's no way that we created it. It created itself. It has to have an intelligent design, creator, sustainer, self-sufficient being that's outside time and space and is infinite. That's controlling it. That creator, designer is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And if you want his instruction manual is the Quran, Al-Quran. I'm sure you can find it in any library that you study in Warwick Uni. If not, give me an email and I'll personally come and give you a copy of the Quran. I will be making another video about the Quran and how it is the word of God. But this video was just for the purpose of who created the universe, and I think I've explained it quite well. To conclude, there is only one way for it to come about, and that is because it's an intelligent design. There has to have been a creator behind it, and I've proven the reasons why there's a creator. I hope that's made sense for all of you people who love using common sense and truth seekers. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Just be ready for my next video, which is the Quran, the revelation from Allah, from the Creator, and I'll be proving in that video how and why the Quran is definitely